Happy Monday. My name is Kelly Reddy-Heffner, and you are tuning into Fresh Squeeze Finance. Today's topic is custodial accounts for children. Several years ago, when Instagram and TikTok were both picking up steam, a number of financial gurus were throwing up videos and reels about how to make your child a millionaire before the age of 3 by investing $5 in a Roth IRA at birth. I exaggerate a bit, but the point and the premise was both accurate and acutely flawed. On the accurate side, it's true. The earlier you start saving, typically the better the results. The beautiful part of compounding interest is that the savings will compound with the interest rate and do some of the heavy lifting for you and grow that initial savings. Win. The interest, though, is an important part of that component. Putting $1,000 in a box under your bed won't grow above $1,000. And at that 0% growth rate, inflation will surely erode that savings. The current inflation rate is advertised at present to be 2.70, which is close to the average rate between 1985 and today. For some comparison, in 2022, the inflation rate was 9.1%. One of the worst years, if not the worst, was 1946, with an inflation rate of 18.10%. Essentially, as you are well aware in the current environment, it costs more now to do what we have done in the past. We feel that. On the flawed side of this premise about accumulating wealth in that way, there were a couple issues. One, the math was not always mathing. Compound interest is great, but the numbers need to be accurate. $1,000 put aside for 50 years with 3% interest, no additional contributions, will grow to just under $5,000. $1,000 initially saved with $1,000 contributed each year for 50 years with that same 3% interest will grow to just under $120,000. If you can find an interest rate, if you move from savings and maybe a high yield or a CD into taking on risk in the stock market, over the course of time, maybe earning a 7% interest rate, but of course, in the stock market, you're going to see more volatility, highs and lows, not always that steady state of 7% by any stretch. It's actually the opposite of that. But say an average 7% over the 50 years, that 1,000 plus 1,000 contributed each year will grow to just under $500,000. The other big component is that you need to have earned income. So to contribute to a Roth IRA, the rules per the IRS is that you need the lesser of 100% of your earned income or $7,000 for 2025 if you're under the contribution income limits. Most young children do not earn income just yet. Maybe some do, but over time, as young children grow into preteens and young adults, they may start earning income, either starting out like a small job, babysitting, whether they get a W-2 or they're getting paid in cash, keeping the W-2 or keeping a log of income is necessary for doing Roth IRA contributions. But once there is that earned income, this becomes an option to explore. Now the additional fun part. When parents help their children open the accounts, it's a custodial account. Once they turn 18 or 21, depending on state law, the account needs to be transferred over to the child. In some cases, this is pretty straightforward. I can only speak to my own personal experience and tell you that I'm 2 years into the process with one child at one custodian, and I'm 2 weeks into the process with the second child at another custodian. Only time will tell if the second custodian process is easier than the first, but my fingers are crossed, and it's looking good so far. But the last piece of the puzzle to solidify that you are indeed a rock star parent and helped engage your child with a healthy interest in savings and did the logistics to help them do so. Typically, this last piece of the puzzle should involve an application to re-register a custodial IRA account. This is completed by the now adulting child. The challenging part is that the now adulting child will be getting the direct communications and may not be living under your roof as well if they're a student or if they're working full time and have moved out. But getting them to check email in a timely fashion if some follow-up item is needed and to communicate that with you can potentially set you on a 2-year journey. But all I can say either way is that savings early is good, and good luck and stay strong as you negotiate moving it from that custodial account into the adult IRA. Have a wonderful day and thanks for being here.